I loved Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He gave great speeches and his leadership inspired and galvanized the people. But by the end of his life, he seemed to have realized that he had integrated his people into a burning house. It was like we left our businesses behind and our power got scattered. It became apparent that our main goal should have been economics. Back in the day, we had our own. Our dollars stayed with us and our communities thrived. It's time for us to move past our trauma as a people, favor each other and commit to the staunch support of our businesses. Well, it's time for us to rebuild. iShop.Black is an opportunity for us to renew the spirit of Black Wall Street now, when we began to pool our nearly $2 trillion buying power on this platform. It's time to unify and again began to circulate our dollars among our own at iShop.Black. Join us at iShop.Black. Let's make every dollar count when we buy and sell with our own. Come set up your online store with us. Let's build our future together. For a limited time, only take advantage of 25% off on all subscriptions on iShop.Black. You can have your store up and running for our lowest price ever, around $26 per month. Offer expires September 30th, 2024. Scan the QR code below.
Join us for our tech podcast on Sundays at noon.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stretch the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand or 10,000 Kenyan shillings or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs and on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us tonight on the stream. We greatly appreciate it. It is, we're trucking along the 19th of September. And wow. I keep saying wow, but these days are passing so fast that the end of September about to be here before you know it. And then we'll be coming into October. I think this weekend isn't fall officially starts this weekend. And shout out to all of y'all that actually get 4 seasons out of the year. Unlike us down here that's still blazing in some 90-degree heat. God, I tell y'all what, I just want to have 4 seasons. I don't like the extended summers that we have here. And then we don't really have I mean, it gets a little cool, but it don't get cold. And I'm like, I like it to get cold. I don't want winter storm cold with all that ice and all that mess. I don't want that. No, you can just give me just some good, clear, cool days where I can wear my sweats and I can wear, things like that. Just trying to stay warm, a beanie or something. I'm looking forward to that. So my light bill can go down. Shoot. Because the more and more I run my heater, my light bill go down. Yeah, I heard about her. Oprah don't interest me. Let's call it what it is. I saw that. Is anybody really listening to Oprah Winfrey? Think about this. We have a generation of kids who don't even know who Oprah is. So unless you like from my age group, also my age group, that's the only reason you maybe know about Oprah. I guess you follow her if you're a little younger, maybe. Maybe a millennial know who she is, but the Gen Zs, they're not thinking about no Oprah. I mean, you could bring out all the celebrities you want. It's not going to move the needle. Celebrities don't have the influence no more they used to have. I mean, at one point in time, listen, you remember the Democrats had Puffy out there talking about vote or die, right? And during that time period, he was doing all his freak offs, right? And he was talking about he'll vote or die. But, with Puffy, more and more videos coming out with Puffy and all these people was in the videos. Boy, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. All right. So, yeah, you say you in Cali, you say it snows, I guess you're in Northern Cali, right? Okay, cool. So tonight we're going to talk about Vice President Kamala Harris because that's y'all favorite vice president and y'all like to hear about her, obviously. And there was some new information came out about black voters under 50, and she's in trouble with them. She's in trouble even with black women under 52. And I know that's pretty surprising for the Democrat Party because the Democrat Party, I know they thought that black women were just in the back pocket no matter the age group, and that's not the case. I told y'all a long time ago, if black men start making a move, the women will start to follow. Not all women is hunkered down in that rebellion and all of that that go along with it, right? Rebellion, Jezebel spirit, all of that. Not a lot of them is not on that. You got some of them on that. They're so educated that they think they know better, right? But brothers are going this way, and some of the sisters are starting to go with them. So shout out to them. Yes, Oprah's boule, and that's why I'm not excited about that. Now, I may lay in my bed and glance at it and see if anything is said that we could talk about, right? Oh, also, next week, we're going to be doing something different next week. Just I was talking to Sister Jasmine, so I got to get some thumbnail things for it. But on our Emancipation Media channel, our other channel, Emancipation Media, I will start streaming on Emancipation Media next week. I'm thinking maybe just see how it goes on Monday through Friday. And I'm thinking around maybe about noontime, like a lunchtime stream. I'll still do my live streams here at 7 p.m. Central Standard. That's not going to change. But I'm thinking, let's try next week, noontime, Emancipation Media stream. Then 7 p.m. Central Standard here, of course, right? Then we know 10 p.m. Central Standard Time is the podcast. And then at least we talking about what I do. I'm not, everybody else is doing wonderful things here at their particular times. And then 4 p.m. Central Standard Time is the Phillip Scott show, more so the entertainment show, don't bring politics over there. I don't want to hear it. I'll block you. You start getting too political. We don't talk about politics over there. I need a break anyway. I'm sick of politics right now, actually. I wish the election was today. So that's what, and then also if you're on our TikTok page, I'm going to be making sure to post at least one posting a day on our TikTok page. It's African Diaspora News. I posted something about Puffy today on our TikTok. So if you're over there on TikTok, you can go over there and watch what we got going on TikTok. We were just kind of posting what we normally do on all the stuff, but it was an issue with TikTok. So I basically had to go back to the original way I used to do TikTok, and it looks like that's working fine now. So we'll see how that works out over there, right? So make sure to follow us on everything, Instagram, Facebook, but make sure you have the African Diaspora News Channel app, because you know good and well, all that stuff can go. So the place you will find us, guarantee, is the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play, Apple App Store. Once you get there, hit create account, and you can be a monthly, quarterly, and yearly. Why that's important? Because y'all heard, you heard what happened with that to African Stream, right? So that is a platform called African Stream. And they actually, was doing some good news stories and things like that. Well, the Biden-Harris administration, their Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, he gets up and he says, African Stream, they say a Pan-African, outlet that's, want to give a voice to Africans home and abroad, but they're being funded by RT, and he didn't show no evidence of it. He just said it, and immediately this platform, Facebook and Instagram, took him off the moment he said that. Not that they had a strikes or they violated copyright. No. Just because he said that. Now, who's to say that the Biden-Harris administration didn't call these platforms either and press them to take them down, right? So what I'm saying about that is this. This is why the app is important. Now, is African Stream still on X? Yes. But who's to say I don't think Elon Musk's going to take them off. But what I'm saying is this is why this is important. The Biden-Harris administration believes in censorship. They really do. And some people are like, why you go so hard about, the Vice President Kamala Harris? Because some of you don't see it, and maybe you don't care because you don't have to worry about being censored for any reason, because maybe you just, wherever you work at, you don't care less. But always remember this. You may not care about censorship, but what about when that administration forced you to put something in your body that you was against? The same woman that says the government shouldn't be telling women what to do with their bodies, but yet that administration was telling men and women what to do with their bodies, with the threat of losing your income. Okay? Don't never forget that, because I don't see people really bringing that up, but I'm bringing it up because that's a fact. That's what happened. Many people lost their jobs because of that administration. Right? So you can't one minute say that women, the government shouldn't tell women what to do with their bodies, but in another sense, you can tell everybody what to do with their bodies? No. But that's, once again, that's not censorship. That is, dictatorship. That's authoritarianism. Okay? I mean, those kind of moves. America's supposed to be about freedom and justice, and how you run around here talking about freedom and a new way forward, but yet you was all about preventing freedom. Right? All right. So with that being said, we went a little longer on the introduction than what we wanted to go to tonight. So let me go ahead on and get let me go ahead and knock out Uncle Ruckus. That don't take long, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
People say the key to fixing the problems is education, but I say education is not the answer. Why bother? And what do they do in college anyway? Oh, they go there, they party, get drunk for 4-5 years, and end up just as ignorant as when they came in. You ever seen these fraternities and sororities? You ever seen these things? Silliest I've ever seen in my life. You think Aristotle turned to Achilles and said, hey, let's create a fraternity and jump up and down barking like dogs? Hell no. White man out there getting Nobel Prizes and doing business deals in the fraternities. jumping up and down with candy canes and doing all kinds of silly shit with their hands. I got something for a fraternity of bananas up a tree.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the great and famous Uncle Ruckus. Class in session, and real quick, let's make sure we actually do some decent work today, and we got some good things for y'all. But before we get started, make sure you go to vote.gov and get registered to vote. Vote.gov, ladies and gentlemen, so you can participate in early voting. We are promoting people to go to the first day of early voting, or at least the first week of early voting. If you are in California, you definitely got to get out there and vote early. So you can get out. Every member who betrayed Black Americans in California with the California Legislative Black Caucus, get out there and vote against all of the incumbents and vote for anybody else that's on the other side. I don't care if it's even if nobody else but another Democrat is on there. You know, even though I'm against, voting any kind of blue. For sure, but you got to get the incumbents out and move them around. I prefer you don't vote for no Democrat, but I don't know. California elections is real weird about the Democrat Party. I wish that state turns purple. That would be beautiful if that state turns purple, because the Democrats been having a hold on that state for too long. But make sure you get registered to vote. And make sure you participate in this election, ladies and gentlemen. Democrat Shields, I'm talking to you too. Make sure you get out there and vote early. Even if you're going to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris, vote early. All right. So let's go on and see what I was looking at. And let's go on and let me get to my screen here. Give me a second. All right. So this one is going to come to you courtesy of NBC News. See, Black swing state voters overwhelmingly back Harris with key divides on age and gender, Howard poll shows. Now, so younger Black men were more likely to support Donald Trump, though Kamala Harris still won a strong majority among them. Okay, so we're gonna kind of go down. That's why I want to show you. I'm not reading all that, but we want to kind of go now. They took a poll from Howard University Initiative on Public Opinion of 963 likely Black voters in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, the 7 core battleground states. So the overall they got here, Black voters in battleground states support Harris over Trump 82% to 12. Okay, that's still not good. That's not good for Harris. She needs at least 90%. Now they said that in 2020. Across, it said 89% of Black voters supported Biden and 9% supported Trump. So as you can see, Trump number grew here, and you got here 6 say they are another candidate are undecided. Okay, so we don't know where they're gonna go. Now let's go down here. They say young Black voters more likely to support Trump. As you can see here, this is the issue. Black voters under 50, 75%. And then you have 16 for Trump, 9 undecided. And then Black voters over 50, 89%, 8% for Trump. And then you have this, sliver undecided. This is a problem. This is a complete problem for Vice President Kamala Harris. She needs this number and this number to be together, 89%, 90%. If she's going to easily win those battleground states, okay? Now, let's say the age shift was especially pronounced among Black men. Among those polled, men under 50 support Harris by 50 points, 72 to 71. And then you see here, let's go down here. So Black men, 72% of Black men support Harris, 21% Trump, 7 undecided. Then you go to Black women, 78%, and then you have 13%, and then 10 undecided. The Black women number it surprised me in a lot of ways because, they really have catered to Black women in every way, shape, or form. And it seems like Black women have said, nah, this is not it. And of course, we've heard a lot of Black women say that. I've talked to a lot of Black women that can't get down with them. Now, of course, Black men over 50 is 88%, and black women over 50 is 89%. Now, this comes from Howard University, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's all I kind of want to get into. But she will not, if these numbers stay like this, and she can't change these two numbers from black men and black women under 50, she is possibly going to lose this election. And let me get back on the screen here. Where's my thing at? Okay, well, let me tell you why. A lot of those people over 50, some of them, not all, but some of them is thinking about retirement. Some of them, maybe they had a 401k and they put good money into it. Maybe somebody lucked out and got a pension, which is rare these days, but maybe they lucked out. So they're thinking more so about retirement, and they don't want nobody to kind of mess with their retirement too much. So they're on the other end of the spectrum, that maybe their house is paid off by then or very close to being paid off. Their children are grown, so they don't need as much money as maybe the under 50s who's still raising children, who's still in the workforce, that sort of thing, right? A lot of these over 50s are empty nesters. So, when you're living by yourself, you don't need as much versus when you had 2-3 kids in the house. Even if it's you and your wife, you and your husband, y'all don't need as much as when y'all had them kids in the house, paying for back to school, paying for this, paying for that. You didn't need all that. Your kids grown and gone now, right? So Vice President Kamala Harris and her issues really not affect you. Immigration don't affect you. If the over 50 crowd, immigration really don't affect them too much, especially if they secure in their jobs or their businesses, because usually people in that age group, they do usually a lot better financially. Just normal trajectory, right? I'm not saying everybody. So when we talk about the black community, so Vice President Kamala Harris, she's a safe option for some of them. Not all, but some. She's a safe option. Now, the under 50s, who, let's talk about our Gen Z young brothers and sisters, they are literally starved out of the American economy on average. They're starved out. They can't, a lot of them have a hard time getting even an apartment because it's the price of a mortgage. I was their age at one point in time. I didn't have money like that. You understand? Now, maybe one of them look out and they become a content creator and they making good money, but that's not the norm. That's an anomaly, right? So the average Gen Z don't have no money. And yet the rent is too doggone high. So a lot of the Gen Zs are still staying home with their parents. Not because they want to, but because they can't afford to be out here like that. So our young Gen Z brothers and sisters out here who they working jobs, but they can't really do things on their own. Sure, they got a car and they may have a cell phone, they may have all that sort of thing, but it's hard for them. On top of the gas prices and the food prices, okay. Then you move up to the millennials, right? Maybe the millennials do have their own place to stay and they out here doing their thing, but they're struggling because they still out here working their careers, businesses, etc. Gen Xers like myself, we're still in it, right? We're still raising kids. We're still in our businesses and in our careers. We're not thinking about retirement as of yet. That's not even, something to even think about, especially, right? So the Gen Xers, Millennial, and Gen Z need more resources. Well, when we look at something like, for instance, and I know some people don't always agree with what I say, right? Some of y'all are disgruntled to Democrats. Some of y'all probably will vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. And that is your American right to vote for her for whatever the reason you choose. That's not what I'm here to do. I just talk about the policies. And yes, because I'm very serious about what happened in California, because I'm very serious about the immigration deal, I'm very serious about prioritizing all these other groups over Black Americans and using our votes to do it. I just can't, at this dispensation of time, just say I just wholeheartedly support Vice President Kamala Harris or the Democrat Party. I just can't do it. I can't. and let's talk about black men for a minute. Black men have always had the highest unemployment in America, okay? Highest unemployment. And Vice President Kamala Harris and President Joe Biden has flooded this nation with a bunch of military-age males. Just yesterday, the federal chairman, Jerome Powell, had talked about that the immigration is affecting the unemployment rate. You say your entire family is baby boomers, John? Okay. Affecting the employment rate. He said that when you flood in millions of people, it's going to affect the employment rate. Yes, it will. And these are men. Some men are coming in here committing crimes. Like we don't need no more criminals in America. But some of these men are going out. They want to get jobs. And our government is prioritizing them over black men and black women. They're getting the thousands upon thousands of dollars in EBT, and people keep coming out reporting about what they're getting. I just saw a white lady was mad in Springfield about, she used to work at a grocery store and saw the EBT card receipt for one of them that she rung up because she was a cashier, and she was angry. She said they were dressed good. She said they had money. She said, but we struggling. We said we can't get nothing. So my thing is, and maybe y'all can help me because I don't know everything, right? Some people may say, well, the immigrant thing, that affects some, it don't affect me or whatever. I can almost say the same thing. What immigrant gonna take my job? None of them. But I don't think about me. That's the thing. I think about the whole. I think about the community. The community is being affected. So I understand I'm part of a community. It doesn't matter if it doesn't affect me personally. Don't matter. I'm part of a community. And if it affects the community, it affects me. So that's why I am talking about it, because it affects me. If I'm watching black Americans be homeless, and I'm watching migrants being put up in hotels and shelters and community centers being taken away from black communities and putting migrants in there, right? But yet black Americans are homeless, then why would I get on this microphone and say, hey guys, let's go out and vote for more of that because that will be good for the black community? To me, that's not responsible. That's not responsible. Okay? And even when I seen some people, when Renelle Way gets on and she started talking about illegal immigration, because listen, that's the queen of illegal immigration, Renelle Way. I tease her all the time. I say, they need to put you as the Minister of Home Affairs over there and let you be over Home Affairs, which is basically the immigration, because she's hardcore about immigration. And I told her, I said, I understand. I said, at least in your country, though, in South Africa, they're not giving them thousands upon $1,000 on EBT. They're not putting them up at the Rose Bank and all that, the Marriotts and Melrose Arch and all that. They're not putting them up over there, the Voco and all them nice hotels. They're not putting them up over there. They let them over there. They have to get a job and get it how they live, like the first set of immigrants used to. See, the first set of immigrants that came here, they had to, hey, man, we let you over here, but you got to get it on your own. You're on your own. You're on your own. And you remember Reagan, he did an amnesty. If Republicans really want to get into that conversation, Reagan did an amnesty. He was a Republican. But the way the amnesty worked, if you took any kind of food stamp or anything from the government, you wasn't getting the amnesty. The people that took nothing from the government and just got it how they lived and pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, they got the amnesty. That's what they got. The people that took the food stamps, they got I guess not a green card, a residency, but it had to be renewed. The people that didn't take anything, they were permanent residents of the United States. That was the amnesty that they got. And then they would have to take their test for citizenship and all that where they can vote, but they still couldn't vote as a resident. But that's what Reagan did. Kamala, she wants to do the same thing, but probably on steroids. If you go vote for her, I believe she's going to do that. And Nancy Pelosi said this. She said 20 million people, they want to make them legal. Okay, they want to make all of them legal. So maybe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong, or are some like if anybody wrong saying that? Wait a minute, as a black community, is this going to benefit Black America? Yes or no? Is this going to benefit Black America? And we're the only ones who are told it's wrong to say that. It's shameful to say this. And I don't care what country they come from. It don't matter. The fact is, we do not have infinite resources in the United States of America. Now, Mike says economy and immigration are the main issues for me. And I'm with you, Mike. I'm with you. Economy, immigration, well, for me, business tax rates is always, that's what I'm into. Business tax rates, geopolitics is another thing. I'm very, very concerned about geopolitics because I don't think she's strong enough to deal with these world leaders, who are hostile in the United States of America. More of her tax policy is an issue for me. Because she wants to tax, tax upon tax upon tax. I don't like to hear a politician talking about taxing. Yeah, foreign policy is very important. But when you talk about the issue of immigration, right? Are you willing as Black Americans to say, I'm going to go vote for Vice President Kamala Harris and use your vote to give a big boost and a leg up to people that just got here, that didn't even put in the time you put in this country, didn't pay the taxes that you paid, didn't go through any. This is the thing. They will come in. They will get the benefit of every law that our ancestors fought and died for, that we still don't even get the full benefit of. They will paper them up. They will be above Black Americans. I'm telling you, they're already doing it. We go back to that story in Chicago where the Venezuelans got here, that family got here in 2022, been here only 2 years underneath the Biden-Harris administration, and already purchased a home, and they helped them to purchase that home, okay? They got a first-time home buyers program. Did they in this country long enough? What country you go to and you could just get a first-time home buyers program that's through the city? In most countries throughout the world, they won't do that for a foreigner. But over here, if you are a foreigner, you are prioritized. And Americans are to suffer. So this is why Vice President Kamala Harris is having a problem with Black voters under 50. And I would say not just Black voters, because I wish they poll everybody. They need to poll Hispanics under 50 and over 50. They need to poll white people, Asians, East Indians. They need to poll all these people, because I guarantee you she has an under 50 problem all over the country. Actually, I don't think it's just Black people, because what I'm seeing people of all communities have the same conversation. They don't like the immigration. The economy is bad. All this taxing she's talking about. Like it's just, and then the crazy part is that when you ask her a question, she just babbles. Is that what she's gonna do in front of world leaders? But she's done that before, right? Just babbling, don't know what she's talking about. So this is what we're supposed to be putting in the White House. Then we got to ask some other questions. You don't have to like Trump. You don't even have to vote for him. You can vote for somebody else. I told you can vote for Cornel West. You can vote for Dr. Jill Stein. You can vote for whoever. You can vote for yourself. So it has nothing to do with going and vote for Trump. But my thing is, what is it about Trump that they really don't want him in that White House? Let's think about it. The first time he ran, okay, they didn't do that. This time around, let's really look at it. They put all those cases on him, which was lawfare. They thought they would have had him in jail by now. That didn't work. Okay. He was literally the Teflon Don with all these cases. Okay, fine. Then they take the first attempt on his life. I mean, they went for broke. They did. So they took an attempt on his life just that first time, right? They nicked him on the ear. You know, they say if he wouldn't have turned when he turned, they would have hit him right in the dome, right? Okay. Then another dude went out here and was trying to get at him a second time. So this is twice in 2 months. What is it that them folks don't want him? What is it that he's gonna do? Or what do they feel like they gotta go for broke? What, like, y'all have to really think about it that way. Like, bro, I've never seen nothing like this. All the years I've been looking at presidential elections, I've never seen that. Twice in 2 months? Twice. The last one that had an attempt was President Reagan. Back in the 80s, President Reagan. But they done this twice? Y'all not looking, like, people not really paying attention. Like, and I'm sitting up here looking like, bro, what is happening to this doggone country, man? Okay, you may not like a candidate, whatever, but that's not the way Americans supposed to be acting. You're actually supposed to be some civil people. And hey, if your candidate win, they win. If they lose, they lose. And that's the end of it. Okay, try again in 4 years or whatever, right? But people are getting way too emotional, it's becoming too much. And this stuff just happened, and they still using that same language. Oh, he's dangerous. Oh, Project 2025. They keep lying about, I'm getting so tired of project that lie about Project 2025. How is that allowed to keep going? See, if I was Trump, I would sue them for saying that about me, because Project 2025 has nothing to do with him, but I don't know why he don't sue him, because I would. If I had his money, I would. But you keep on with this, and I even hate the word dangerous now. I hate the word dangerous. I hate that word. Because every 5 minutes it's he dangerous. She's dangerous. Oh, well, they can't be saying that because that's dangerous. And I mean, like, bruh, like, why y'all use that word every other, the words I don't like is dangerous, misinformation, disinformation. If you just ask questions to them, well, if you want to vote for Trump, just say that. Like, you're ignorant. You know why you're ignorant for saying that? Because the person's asking a question about you because maybe they wanted to vote for you, but they just needed some more clarity on your policy. But it was really in their heart they wanted to vote for you. But because you can't give them a legitimate answer, you're going to just go vote for Trump then. Do you know how many people that you're actually making upset and pushing them to Trump when they were really going to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris? And then but see, she did it too, though. I can't say just the Shields, because when the Palestinians came in and hollered at her, what did she say? If you're going to just vote for Trump, just say that. I'm like, who created that political strategy? Telling somebody just go vote for my opponent, then I'm running. And I'm telling you go vote for my opponent because I don't want your vote. Just like after the NABJ, right? Vice President Kamala Harris, she didn't even go over there and shake those people's hand. Just because she was mad that she got some pushback from Tanya Mosley, and shout out to Sister Tanya Mosley. Just because she got some pushback from Sister Tanya Mosley, right? Did y'all see that? Y'all, if you went on the podcast last night, you'll see what I'm talking about. I probably can cue it up here. Yeah, it's not me saying the Heritage. Look, don't believe me about the Heritage Foundation. Don't believe me. Go look it up yourself. Go see if the Heritage Foundation is the authors of Project 2025. Then go to Donald Trump's website and go see if he's the author of Project 2025. He has Agenda 47 on his website, but not Project 2025. My problem is Project 2024. That's my problem. In Project 2024, we've had open borders. In Project 2024, we've had high inflation. In Project 2024, we've had high interest rates that just got reduced a little bit. We had high interest rates in Project 2024. In Project 2024, we've had food prices through the roof. In Project 2024, we've had gas prices through the roof. In Project 2024, all the open border policy has allowed criminals to come into this country, bringing their gangs and bringing their culture and everything else that they're bringing that's not conducive to the United States of America. That's Project 2024. That's what I'm worried about. That's my problem. Not 25, 24. You said Steve Harvey said we should vote for Vice President Harris because she's a nice person. Okay, maybe she is a nice person. She could be. But politically, no. And maybe she's nice to him because he's part of the Boule class, right? But what about the people in California that she locked up? What about the mother that she locked up that had the sick little girl? Well, was she nice to her? All the black women that she was parading around arresting for freaking truancy, was she a nice person for them? What about the brother Jamal Trulove? Was she nice to him? What about all the black people she locked up for weed? Was she nice to them? What about the family of Matrice Richardson? Well, was she nice to them? Yeah, I did see the situation with Jill Stein. I did see that. And yeah, Angela Rye was so mad. Lord, Angela Rye was mad. She was hot. And I really believe she was sent there to cause a ruckus in there. And I'm like, look. You don't even see Angela Rye after the election, wherever how it goes, you won't see her no more. I don't know where she go. I don't know if she go back to her basement or whatever. She always pops up around election time to shield for the Democrats. Where does she go after the election? It's like some vacation spot they go to, maybe they go to Shield University or something for about 2 to 4 years and get all the new Democrat Shield tactics. And then they come out and put it on black people. I'm curious, because she be disappearing on us. Then, let me talk about something else. Have y'all noticed something? And I'm going to ask this question. Maybe y'all got the answer. Is Boule Martin on the outs with the Democrats? Let me say why I say this. Boule Martin, he crashes out so hard for Vice President Kamala Harris. Nobody crashes out harder than Boule Martin, okay? Nobody. Okay? Okay. Anyway, nobody crashed out harder than him. And when they had the first NABJ, and he's a lifetime member, they didn't they had women up there, fine. The interview with Donald Trump, which I actually would have loved to see Boule Martin and Trump go back and forth, because I would have loved to see that. That would have been beautiful. But when Vice President Harris went to the NABJ, they had 2 black men journalists, and they didn't put Boule Martin up there at all. So I'm sitting up here looking. Now, I've seen Boule Martin posting pictures of him with Kamala, and I'm like, okay, you can't do an interview at the NABJ. She haven't even done a one-on-one interview with Boule Martin, right? Is he about on the outs with the Democrats? I was just curious about, because ain't no way I'm gonna crash out that hard, fussing and cussing out celebrities and all this other stuff I'm doing, and then this lady won't even sit down and do an interview with me, and I've been in her presence before. So and he was saying like I'm on Air Force 2, and so you on the plane with her and everything, and you mean to tell me you couldn't even do a cell phone interview with her? You on the plane with her, do a cell phone interview. He must be on the outs. Like, look, you could come, you could document, but I ain't, no, I'm not interviewing with you. No. I'm cool with you, but we can't be on camera together. Not like that. I don't know. I'm just asking, because I thought Boulay Martin would have that exclusive, right? Oprah's talking to her and all that. Oprah don't crash out for Vice President Kamala Harris like that. But Black Americans, for sure, under 50, this is their time. This is your time, okay? This is your time to make a status correction. You either make a status correction now or you will be finished. If you saw what happened during this 4 years, this going to be light work compared to what's going to happen the next 4 years. You're going to be lamenting, thinking that this time was actually good by the time Vice President Kamala Harris is done with y'all in the Black community. You're going to be set so far behind. You're going to be so sabotaged. Every other group is going to take the laws that we fought for and it's going to be branded for them. And then they're going to be like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all don't need anything. Because you give them this confidence and you give them this entitlement. Because when you go vote and use your votes to put people in power that's going to give them more than you, what do you expect? That's why these people don't, listen, let me tell you something. These people don't respect Black people. They don't respect you and me as a collective. They don't respect us. Why? Because we do things that are politically just ignorant. Look at the Muslims in up there in Michigan. They are upset what's happening in Gaza. They said that, look, you either stop that or we're not voting for you. And they all came out and said, we're going to abandon Harris. They said, we don't care if Trump win. We don't care. We can care less. Some of them say they vote for Jill Stein. But they're not playing. They're not trying to just vote blue no matter who. They're not worried about the lesser of two evils. They're worried about their particular community. I have nothing but respect for them for doing that. But in our community, this is Black folks right here. So when Biden was running, more Black folks was talking, the Democrats this and Democrats that, and all the Democrats when Biden was running, right? The moment she got in the seat, the same people that was complaining about Joe Biden, they got quiet. They immediately got quiet because she got in that position. If you got a problem with the Democrat Party in certain issues, what does it matter if she's in that position? What does it matter? She's in administration with him. So you know what I'm saying? So notice they're not talking about criminal justice reform. They ain't mentioning it. They're not even talking about it. She's running around here. I was a prosecutor. She keep running around here talking about she's a prosecutor. These same people over the years would be, last time I checked, would be calling out prosecutors, police officers, judges, etc. All these years that y'all was talking about Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin and Renisha McBride and Rakia Boyd and Sandra Bland and, you just name them. Corin Gaines and you just keep naming people, right? Philando Castile, everybody calling out police officers, prosecutors. Prosecutors was always number one because they wasn't putting charges on the police. How do y'all go from getting actual prosecutors removed from office, can't stand prosecutors, to now y'all love a prosecutor? And then a prosecutor that hurt black people. That's crazy to me. When did y'all start loving prosecutors? I'm trying to figure that out. Because I've been covering these news stories for the past 12 years. And none of y'all loved prosecutors. So why y'all loving a prosecutor now? And she leans into that. I was a prosecutor. Well, when I was a prosecutor, she's not ashamed of it. She leans into it. That's what I said. Oh, y'all talking about law and order now? Who's been on the receiving end of law and order? It's sure not them folks. Yeah, Tamir Rice, Laquan McDonald, you name them. Black folks was talking about the prosecutor, the police, the judge, all that. Now all of a sudden a prosecutor get in a position and y'all love this prosecutor. Wow. Now, DJ Brown Sugar says, do you think that was a game play to get black votes because he was losing the black vote? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it was a good play because look at people abandon their values because she got in there. They abandon them. They want to vote for a prosecutor who locked up single black mothers. A prosecutor that locked up a black woman that had a disabled child, right? They want to vote for a prosecutor who didn't give justice for another black woman by the name of Matrice Richardson. Didn't give her any kind of justice, but dangled she was going to do an investigation so she can get elected. But then when she got in, she didn't do anything, right? The same prosecutor that locked up black people and kept them in jail longer than what they were supposed to so they can keep cleaning the jail and doing work around the prison. And it took a judge to say, you got to let those people out because she was being complicit in prison slavery. That prosecutor? But that's the one y'all love now. You love that prosecutor. Just because because she laughs. I don't know what is it? It's not like she had a record in California of she really brought some justice to the community. She really did right by the community. She didn't let the system railroad us in California. That's not her record. If that was her record, I'd be like, yeah, she was the truth as a prosecutor. But no. Even, and they railroaded her. Marilyn Mosby tried to fight for black people. That's why she got railroaded like she got now. Because she was actually trying to fight for black people and going after people. I covered those cases at the time. Marilyn Mosby was trying her best to prosecute the cops and everybody else. She and politicians. I give her that much. That's why they went after her. If she'd have been like Kamala, she wouldn't be on house arrest right now. What they did to Marilyn Mosby, and it was a Democrat prosecution with a Democrat judge selected by Biden on the federal level, all Democrat. If y'all go and pay attention to all the black people that's been prosecuted by this administration, if you go look at, and I was just talking to Sister Marah, shout out to her in Kenya. She was asking me some questions about the African Stream thing, but also Sister Wangel, I was telling her, I said, pay attention to all the conflict stuff that started happening in the African continent the moment they got in office. I said the first thing that happened was the issues in Ethiopia. Then, Somalia, issues there. All this wasn't going on in the Trump administration. Then you look at Museveni in Uganda, President Museveni trying to force him to go with LGBT and talking about we're going to cut you off from USAID and do this and do that. He said, cut me off. I don't care. Right. Then you go look at Ghana. They tried to push in Ghana the same thing. Right. Then you go look in South Africa. when they was being accused of supplying weapons to Russia, and that wasn't even true, and causing all this stuff, right? Because of the BRICS alliance that they're in, right? Every time you look up, it was some issues going on the continent. Something going on. Don't even talk about, I'm just talking about what happened during their tenure. I'm not saying anybody directly anything, but it was just interesting that the president of Haiti lost his life during that tenure. And Haiti's been in chaos ever since. Prior to that, Haiti wasn't in chaos. In the last administration, we didn't have all that chaos going on throughout the world. I mean, don't believe me. Just go do the research. Don't believe me. Go research everything I'm telling you. And then you come back and look, check this out. So I had covered a story about Haiti. And during the time of the pandemic, Haiti only had 26 deaths in the pandemic. That's it. And they wasn't forcing their people to, do what they was trying to force people to do. And they didn't like that. Just like during that same presidency, President Magufuli in Tanzania. Remember him? He didn't want to do that either. Remember, he was exposing the testing and all that stuff, right? Then you remember the president of Madagascar came out with this herbal drink, talking about that was helping them, whatever, and he flew some into Tanzania. And then all of a sudden, the president Magufuli mysteriously passes away. There was an attempt on the life of the president of Madagascar, right, by a French military guy, right, during that time period. And after that, the president of Madagascar just got quiet, didn't say nothing no more about anything, right? Don't believe me. You can go look up everything I'm telling you is in the news. Because the thing is, I've been reporting this stuff for years. So I remember all of it. I always tell people I don't smoke no drugs. I don't take no drug. I don't even get drunk. Okay. So thank God my mind is sharp. I remember all this stuff. Okay. It's not just domestic issues. It's also issues abroad that can create problems in other countries that can cause mass immigration too. Mike says our people do not rock with this lady at all in California. I don't believe this race will be close. Well, Mike, we'll see. We'll see, Mike. We will see. Well, Cat Williams was right at the beginning of the year. He was, y'all. He was. A lot of people getting exposed. And like I said on TikTok, Puffy needs to tell on everybody. I hope he do. I want him to tell on everybody. He better not go down. I will be disappointed in Puffy if he go down by himself. He needs to tell. Rose says, shout out to you for that. Let me see. We are the culture. Yeah. So, I don't, cover as much African news as I used to. Which I'll get back to it, but I've been kind of doing more of this, election stuff, right? But, some of this stuff that's been going on, like, we need to pay attention to it. And that's why even African immigrants that come here, they're not getting broke off like people think they are. Maybe a few is here and there, but it's not the majority. Trust me, it is not the majority. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. That's also very, very important. And make sure, also you go to our Phillip Scott podcast at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And also make sure you check out the Emancipation Media channel when you get a chance. Once again, we're going to start streaming over there, I think about noon Central Standard Time, maybe like a lunch show or something like that. Over there starting Monday of next week. So make sure everybody go over to the Emancipation Media channel, subscribe there. That way when we go live there, you'll know. So